guys, Dan Jerseth here. Today I'm going to be covering a video about the cost of living in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. A few of the things I'm going to be covering are the cost of housing, so that includes whether you're buying a house or if you're renting. A few of the other things include grocery cost, utility cost, the cost to maintain your vehicle in this snowy climate. And then I'm going to end with some bonus material. So if that's interesting to you, stay tuned and listen to this video. Before I hop into the meat and potatoes of this video, I first of all want to bring up two things. Number one, I want you guys to all admire how cute my dog is and how adorable and nice she is. Number two, I am a real estate agent here in Eau Claire. So if you guys are thinking about buying or selling, we help people move to this area from out of state every single day. We get phone calls from all over the country. So if that's you, make sure you give us a call. My number's in the description below. Alrighty, that's enough of that. Let's hop in. Okay guys, item number one, which is my favorite topic because I'm in real estate myself, is the cost of housing. So the interesting thing about Eau Claire is the average house cost to buy is about $220,000 versus the average US price, which is about $290,000. So considerable difference on the actual cost of the housing prices themselves is what is that? $70,000 less than the US average. So that's huge. So maybe you don't want to buy a house right away. Maybe you want to rent for a while. So the rental prices, I called my property management company. Thank you, General Property Management. I asked them for one, a two, and a three bedroom rental price range. And they gave me, I wrote these numbers down, so I don't have them memorized. So I'm gonna have to look at a piece of paper as I'm reading these off. So a one bedroom rental apartment or house is going to cost right around $700 to $1,000 a month to rent. Versus, I looked up the average US one bedroom rental price according to rent.com is average rent for a one bedroom is about $1,688 per month. So that's about the top end. What you're going to pay for a one bedroom house in Eau Claire is going to be literally $688 cheaper than the average US rental for a one bedroom. A two bedroom rental in Eau Claire, Wisconsin is going to be a range of $850 per month to about $1,350 per month. And rents have gone up quite a bit in the past year. So this is the top, this is the current rent prices. I just called them about 10 minutes ago and asked them these different rental prices. So $850 to about $1,350 for a two bedroom house or a apartment building. And according to rent.com, the two bedroom house is going to be approximately about just shy of $2,000 per month. So $1,985. So again, the cost of a rental in Eau Claire costs about approximately, give or take, $600 cheaper for a two bedroom house or apartment building in Eau Claire versus the average US two bedroom rental price. That's super interesting to me. It's about $600 a month cheaper. So yes, the wages might be less, but the cost of housing is way less. And that's where we see that 5% difference advantage in Eau Claire versus the average US city. Last but not least, the average three bedroom apartment or home to rent in Eau Claire, Wisconsin costs about $1,000 on the low end, all the way to the higher end. If you have a luxury apartment, it's going to be about $1,750. So the interesting thing that I'm taking out of this is the high end for the three bedroom house is still within $100 cost of what a one bedroom average rental price would cost anywhere else in the USA. That's a light bulb in my head. Whoa, the cost of living, if you're renting here in Eau Claire or buying a house, is dramatically lower than anywhere else in the country. Not anywhere else, but on average, other cities and locations across the country. Please keep in mind that these statistics may vary over time. So at the point you're watching this video, the numbers might be different. Just keep that in mind. The next expense I want to share with you guys is going to be utilities to run your house. That's going to include your gas, your electric, your garbage, your water, sewer, and lastly your Wi-Fi. So one interesting thing about Wisconsin is that it gets super cold. And so if you've ever lived in cold weather before, you know your gas and heat, your heat bill during the summer is a lot lower than winter. You get into winter months, especially in January when it's frigid, it's 15 below for a week straight, and your furnace is working, your gas bill is going to be jacked up. So for me personally, on the higher months, my gas bills get up to like $220 for like a 3-bedroom house. So it's $220 versus in the summer months, if it's super hot out, I might have to run my air conditioning, which is going to jack up my electric bill. So like gas and electric, to me, they're combined in a bill. So worst in the middle of winter is about $220 versus in this very early summer months, say for example like April, May, June, when it's fairly cool outside, it's like 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe 75 here and there. My bills are usually like $75, which is great. The next on my list is going to be the garbage bill. For whatever reason, it's always been surprising to me how low garbage bills are. They're usually right around $20 a month, so no concern there. Next is going to be Wi-Fi bill. Around here, your Wi-Fi, if you get a promo code, you can get it down to like $35. So expect to be paying anywhere between $35 to $55, depending on what kind of Wi-Fi you get and what kind of what company you go through. I would say Wi-Fi is going to generally be the same around the country, right around that $50 a month. So expect to pay right around there. Lastly is going to be your water and sewer bill. Same thing there. Bill is right around $30 to $40 a month. If you're using a lot of water, it might get worked up a little bit. But overall, it's not going to go much more over $40 a month. Alrighty guys, I feel like the utilities we've covered pretty well. I'm going to hop into childcare, which is something that I can't really personally relate to because I don't have kids. However, I know if you're moving here, there's a really good chance you have kids. And so what I did, I texted my buddy who has a 2-year-old, and I just asked him how much it costs for daycare to take care of his kid for the day. And he says that he pays $210 for 4 days, which is about $52 a day, which when I did a little bit of research online for the national average for what childcare costs, that was kind of right around the average. I was giving numbers between $45 to $55 a day. So with that being said, I would say childcare is probably about national average here, maybe a little bit lower, maybe a little bit higher, but if it is lower or higher, it's almost spot on, so nothing to be surprised about there. It's going to be about $50 a day for childcare. So some bonus material for you guys. Something you probably wouldn't think about if you're moving from, let's say, a place like Southern California or Texas or Florida is going to be the extra car maintenance it takes to operate a vehicle here in Wisconsin. The roads are covered by salt in the winter because that helps melt the snow, and that causes car mechanics to deteriorate a lot quicker, as long as in addition to the paint, the undercarriage of the car, just overall the car gets it has a lot more wear and tear. So you don't really see cars older than about the year 2005 that don't have rust on them and they're starting to look older. Whenever I've gone to Texas or Florida or like places like California where they don't have salt on the roads, it's really common to see a vehicle from the 1980s that doesn't have a spot of rust, which is just a very strange sight here in Wisconsin. And something I had to do recently is I had to bring my car into the shop to get its heater repaired because my heat went out on my car. And I tell you what, it went out on a day that it was like negative 22 degrees. And not very fun thing to drive in the winter without a heater in Wisconsin. Last but not least, but not my favorite, is going to be snow removal. I freaking hate snow removal. Reason why I hate it so much is because my parents owned a duplex back in the 90s, and I was, of course, the
only child at that time, and so I was the one coined with the task of shoveling the sidewalks and the entire driveway, and it was freaking huge. And guess what? It was on a corner lot, and the sidewalk, it felt like it was about 2 miles long. Nowadays, I refuse to shovel anything longer than about 10 feet worth of snow. If it's from my front door to my driveway, I can handle that. Call me a wussy. I don't know. Maybe I'm not meant for Wisconsin. Shoveling your own driveway is definitely an option, just like working on your own car is an option. However, if you do have a longer driveway, good luck with pushing all the snow off, especially if you get 6 to 12 inches worth of really hot, wet, sticky snow. It's great for snowballs, but it's not very fun for shoveling all that snow. It might take you hours. So if you do buy a house with a longer driveway, you're going to be shoveling for a long time. So you're going to either need to hire a plow service or buy your own plow to push the snow off the driveway. Funny story, actually. I had somebody who was moving from Texas one time, and they called me. They had an accepted offer on a house, and they called me one day and they said, "Hey Dan," they're like, "what do we do about all the snow when it gets on the driveway? We're not used to that. And is there like companies that will come and plow the snow for you or shovel the snow?" And yes, there are companies that will shovel and plow snow for you. It was such a funny question because I'm so used to, yeah, there's snowplow companies everywhere. I have friends who own snowplow companies, and they had no idea that even existed. So yes, there are snowplow companies. Just so you know, they're expensive. My house that I have here in Eau Claire, it costs me about $40 every time that they come there. They push the snow. They're not doing all the fine detail snow shoveling, but they will come, they'll push the snow off, so you have like 95% of the snow will be taken care of. It still costs me $45 every time it snows out, so it does get to be costly. Anyways, if you do like these videos, please hit subscribe. We put these videos out every Monday at noon. That way it helps you guys figure out what Eau Claire has to offer. Peace out, guys.